Today, we have an insane update from OpenArt AI. The ability to use a 3D model to pose your characters when producing images with their image generator. Today, we're going to take a look at it, add it to a workflow, and produce an image with 2 consistent characters in a video so you can see just how powerful these features and OpenArt AI's workflow has become. Just a quick note, OpenArt AI are sponsoring this video and there's a link in the description. So I've logged in and I'm going to head down to our characters section here. And in my last OpenArt AI video, we created these 2 characters, the Kung Fu Man and the White-Haired Witch. So if you want to learn how to create consistent characters, I recommend checking out that video. There'll be a link below, also a card at the end of this video. But for now, I want to go straight into the 3D pose option. So I'm going to create something with our Kung Fu Man. So you have our Kung Fu Man selected here, and at the moment we have prompt and reference. But what we want to come down to is pose your character. When I come down, you notice there's a little section here called Pose and Composition. If I click Modify Pose, I get taken to this area where I can actually modify the pose of my character. Now, this is a female at the moment, so we want to come over to our 3D model, and we can go to Female and choose something a bit more suitable, such as Male Athletic. And you can see there's a bit of a history here you can cycle through. But we're going to go back to Male Athletic. Now what's really cool is before I get into any of the nitty gritty of it, we can also come here to pose and find existing poses we can use, and then we can also modify them from there if we decide that we find something that's pretty close that we just want to make a small adjustment to. So I have here leaning forward, right hand supporting. I'm going to click on that, and you'll notice he's down here, but we also have this frame. So I can essentially come to move down the bottom here and get a different angle. And I can also bring this frame into crop, even change the aspect ratio if I want to. But if we want to create, say, a square image, I'll come over here to aspect ratio, choose square, and it will square that up for us. So we're going to move that into position until we got the framing that we're after. But this is where it gets really interesting. Under move here, I'm going to come to rotate. Because the way this works is I can basically select various areas to move. So if I wanted this hand to come forward, I can click on the elbow joint here, and you'll see we've got these different sort of circles where I can rotate the arm forward. I can rotate it sideways and even rotate out or in. So I can actually affect the joint placement of these pretty effectively. And I can even click on the wrist and change the wrist around as well if I want to do that. So I have a few options there. And this applies for pretty much all the joints. And you notice they're color coded. So the arm here is all yellow points. I can click on the click off, click on the shoulder. I can move that around if I want to, although I kind of like it where it was. I can click on this click off, click on the red, and I have the head here. So I can have him looking down a little bit. And I can even just make little adjustments to other areas, such as clicking on his knee here and rotating that. So I can rotate various areas of the model to get the framing I'm after. So for example, if I wanted to take this hand and flatten it out a bit more, I could rotate it, though it looks a bit unnatural. But ultimately, I can go through and select these various areas and make little rotations, even down to selecting, say, this little blue one. I'm going to click off, click on. It can be a little bit clicky, but just take your time. And I can, for one, I can rotate him entirely, or I can click on, say, the sternum and rotate the whole body. So I actually have the ability to change the way the body looks. I'll come back to move, and I can rotate him into position. So I think this is not too bad the way this is. So I can keep that way if I want to. I can frame it up a little bit so I really get in close on that sort of pose. So once I'm happy with my pose, I come up the top here and click Update Pose. And you'll see the pose updated here, and I can give the pose weight. I'm going to knock it back just a little bit, and then I want to type in a prompt including my character name. So I'm going to say, I have a powerful Kung Fu man wearing dark robes, long sleeves, dark hat, crouching down to investigate the terrain on the battlefield. Golden hour lighting, cinematic, screenshot. So I've given it a bit of a description, what he's doing, and a bit of a style we want. I'm going to bring the prompt adherence up a little bit just to see what we get. I want 4 images. I click create, and now I have a few options. Already I like the look of this first image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that one aside, and I'm going to go and actually generate using the exact same process. We're going to generate something with our white witch. So I'll go in and choose the white-haired witch this time, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to work on her pose, kind of get her to kind of stand or walk behind the other character so I can sort of place them both in that same scene. You'll notice that the process is pretty much the same. I'm just posing up the character, choosing a female body. I now come down and edit my prompt. I do want to mention here that I've increased the weight to about 0.7 because I want to really nail that pose, and I've also added the same scene with the battlefield and the golden hour lighting and cinematic screen cap to try and match this original image as close as I can. I'm going to create 4 images again, and again we have this image, which I think does the job well, although it does have an extra spot in there, but that's all right. We're going to go into the editor for our next step. So I'm going to come back to this image over here, and I'm going to save it to my computer. Here. Now that I've saved that image, I'm going to X out, open this one up, and then I'm going to go to edit. So I have the image open. If I click on it, go up to the remove tool, I can remove this little pumpkin here, and the pumpkin's easily removed. Now if I want to blend in the other image with this, I can go up here to start a blend board. So I click on that, and then I'm just going to click off remove and drag my image into the blend board. Now the blend board's a slightly different size, so I'm going to click on it, change the size to 1920 by 1080, or just some kind of like 16:9 video type size. If I hold down space, click and drag, I can move around. I also hold down control on my mouse wheel, zoom out, and I frame up the image. And now I want to add my man into the scene. So I come up to the little plus button here, upload the image, automatically cuts him out, and I can basically just put him in the scene here. Although he looks a little bit big, so we'll bring him down so he's kind of in the background. And we've got him here in the scene next to her. And I can go through, I can change how creative the blend is. I can change the layer order if I want to add in more objects. But for now, we're just going to click blend. And on the right over here, if we click on the image, you can see we've managed to put them both in the scene. It's even inserted his boots behind some grass and blended them in a little bit better. So now I can save that image. And this time I'm going to go to videos. Now we're on the video page, and I can choose a model. We have a few here. We have Halo, Halo Live. I really like Kling, so I'm going to stick with Kling for now. I'm going to upload my image and choose the image of both of our people. Click open. And then I can describe what I want to see in the video. So I have a Kung Fu man touching the grass and a white-haired witch looking around with a glowing orb. I can also say, zooming in, we'll try and give it some kind of direction on the camera that I want it to see. And I can choose the duration of 5 or 10 seconds. We'll stick with 5. I'm going to go with Pro quality. And you can see it's 300 credits for Pro quality, or 150 for standard. Let's go with Pro. And I click create. And it will start to render that video using AI. And now you can see just how well that has turned out. Let's come back. We still have our original prompt here. Instead of zooming in, let's say camera pans around both characters, explosions in the background, just to add a little something different. So again, let's go to Pro and create a 5-second clip for 300 credits. And now you can see the camera is panning around our characters, and we've got some nice explosions going off in the background. So it's awesome to see we can still make a lot of creative changes when we're rendering the video itself. So you can now start to see the level of control, not only in creating consistent characters, but posing them using 3D models, and then the ability to also convert to video, everything all in the one place, and even blending those images together so you can add multiple characters to a scene. OpenArt have been expanding this really well, and it's looking to be a very complete platform and a heap of fun to play with. So if you want to try out any of these tools for yourself, I highly recommend heading over to openart.ai, check out what they've got, and there's a link in the description. They're the sponsor of this video. I want to thank them for sponsoring the video. Otherwise, that's the video for today, guys. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please consider giving the video a like. Otherwise, hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.